Iron Golems. We love them, we all use them, but how do the farms work? Well, today I'm going to explain that. Hello, my name is Chuck Ross, and today we're talking about iron farms. But before we get started, let me just remind you that all of the information that I'm going to talk about is going to be in the description. And if you find this video helpful, maybe leave a like and a comment if there's a different farm that you want me to explain how that works. And let's get into it. Every iron farm starts with the humble villager. So step 1 is to make sure that you have 3 villagers. Step 2 is to make sure that they are able to sleep in a bed at night. They don't have to sleep for long, they just have to be able to tap into it for a second, and then they get out. They have to be able to do that every 20 minutes or so. Now, you have to be able to scare those villagers, which is where these guys come in. The scare range for a zombie, a husk, a drown, a zombie villager, and a vex are all 8 blocks. Keep in mind that 8 blocks actually starts on this one, so that is something to keep in mind. And then from there you have vindicators and hoglins, the zombie hoglins specifically. That's the giant pigs in the nether. And then over here you have the Evoker and Illusioner and Ravager at 12 blocks. And then all the way over at 15 blocks we have the Pillager. So for range, he is the best option to use. However, for ease of use, you're probably just going to go with a regular zombie, and it works just fine. Everyone does it. Now let's talk about how those mechanics work. So as you can see, we have 3 villagers right here. This one is actually getting scared by the zombie. What he's doing right now is making sure that there are at least 2 other villagers within 10 blocks of him, which there are. The next thing he's going to do is every 10 seconds, he is going to search the area for an Iron Golem. If he does not find one, after 30 seconds of searching, he will spawn one in. And that's going to go right there. They cannot spawn on path blocks or anything that's not a full block. Some of the light blocks are omitted from that, so like glowstone isn't something that they can spawn on. Sea lanterns they can't spawn on. Frog lights they can. Now, here's another thing. You would think that if you use a setup like this, you could have this guy getting scared by him, seeing that he's by 2 villagers, and then spawn one in. You would also think that you could have this guy also getting scared by him, have, say, another villager over there, him getting scared by him and spawning another one. Unfortunately, that's not how that works. Each of those villagers, because they were part of a summoning, cannot spawn an Iron Golem for the next 30 seconds. So, in all reality, there's no point to having them set up like this. This was more just to demonstrate the range. So moving over to the larger box that I've made, the green one on the inside is where the villager can actually spawn Iron Golems. The white with the orange is where it's trying to sense an Iron Golem. So if there's an Iron Golem anywhere within this box, it will not spawn one. So we have this one down here, and if he were half a block higher, his hitbox would actually be in this square, and he would not try to spawn any. Now, another interesting thing is that the villager will always prioritize spawning an Iron Golem at the higher level. It's not that it won't spawn here, but it will prefer to spawn on the upper platform. I think something about the way that it sweeps the area for available spawning places starts at the top level. Now that we have an idea of where it can spawn and where it's trying to find a golem, we can actually build a farm off of that. This is looks more complicated than it really is. So we know that the Iron Golem spawning area is in the 17 by 17 by 13 centered on the villager. So that's the green square. And then the Iron Golem search is 16 by 16 by 16 block range around the villager, which is the outer square. So taking that, we can actually design a farm with that in mind. So here we have a dual spawner setup. So we have these guys here trying to spawn one, and we have these guys here trying to spawn one. The reason that this works is because the maximum range that these guys can sense another villager at is 10 blocks, which happens to end right here. Same thing with these guys, that ends right here. We'll go ahead and shut you for now. That way they can get some sleep. And similarly to the way that they sense other villagers, this is the end of their spawning radius. This is the end of their spawning radius. This is the end of their Iron Golem detection, and that is the end of their Iron Golem detection. So all you really have to do is make sure that the platform is just outside of their detection range, and their platform is just outside of the other guy's detection range, and then you have a functioning Iron Golem spawner. Well, this probably isn't the most efficient and compact design for a dual Iron Golem spawner. I think this does actually show how this works fairly well. So this orange line is actually the limit for where that other one can sense them. So at no point does the Iron Golem that spawns here actually enter the search area for that farm. and vice versa for this farm. So there's definitely ways to compact this, but this is how that works. And that's basically how iron farms work. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy this, and see you guys later.